Hello and welcome back to Worldwide Rush, the game in which we are building a world-spanning passenger transportation empire, competing with a bunch of AIs. And in this episode, we are gonna be expanding, and you are correct if you guessed that the reason we are starting with a overview of the United States is because that we will be expanding into the United States. And the reason for that is quite simple. It is the most developed continent apart from Europe. I do want to go into Asia at some point, but there just isn't really that much over here right now. There's a little bit in China, there's a little bit in Korea, there's a little bit in Japan, but it's spread out quite thin. There's a little bit in India. There's quite a lot in India, but it's spread out quite thin compared to Europe, which is a little more dense, and especially compared to the US, which has a lot of traffic, primarily bus traffic due to the United States bus service, but definitely some traffic. So going into the United States seems like the play. There's also South America, but that is, even less developed. I think the only one is here in Sao Paulo. There's somebody, and there isn't really anything in Africa either, or Australia. There's a little bit in Australia, but I think just for the time being, we're gonna go with the United States and Canada, and probably a little bit of Mexico too. But we'll start here, make the first transatlantic flight or transatlantic connection. It's gonna be a flight. I can I can say that. It's not a bad word. It's going to be the first transatlantic flight. It's going to really position our company in a place where we can get some big hubs and some really good traffic. Now, before we get into any of that, I would like to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. There is not a lot of you watching this series that are subscribed, so if you're enjoying this series, then please subscribe so you can follow along with the rest of the series, and it really helps me out a ton if you would do so. Of course, also like the video and comment on it if you were able to. It really helps me out with the algorithm. So yeah, that is just a quick plea. Enough of that. Let's get into the game. Let's start it back up. We have a decent amount of money, so I'm not too worried. One thing I did forget last time that we'll just do really quick is check Brunswick and Aarhus for their new demands, but those seem to be fulfilled already, so that is good. And in that case, we are just gonna leave everything alone. I can see that the demand for Minsk here has completely disappeared in Aarhus, so we probably wanna take another little look. Oh, it's because the big plane is already in. Seems like we're doing pretty decently with regards to how full everything is. Cool. Okay, the US. There's two options really. We can fly to an established hub, or we can fly to a not established hub. If we fly to an established hub, that sort of means that there will already be some passengers, probably. At least people within the US. There will also already be some transfer of passengers to an established hub, and that will mean that there will more easily be passengers ready to board the plane once it lands on its maiden voyage. Since there's no demand in Aarhus to go to the US right now, there's not going to be any passengers going via plane on the maiden voyage heading to the US, but hopefully there would be some on the way back. And then on the second journey, when all the hubs around the world have sort of, or at least nearby hubs to Aarhus and to the hub we choose in the US, have sort of seen that the route has been established and there's traffic there, then they will flock to those hubs in order to use that route. That is much easier to sort of get on a established hub, but the downside is that we will be just feeding into a hub owned by another city, making that city or that hub even more popular than it already is, because it will be the only transatlantic connection, so everybody will have to go through that hub. So it'd be really nice if we were to own that hub, but of course there's the downside there of not being able to probably fill up the plane for the first couple of trips. Now, that might not be the worst thing. We can handle some losses. We really don't want to hand these to you. It's the United States companies that are really pulling in the profits here. We really don't want to hand those guys any more operating profit than strictly necessary. Even though we are the most valuable, they could overtake us just on sheer profit. So I think I want to get my own. And I've seen there's a couple of possibilities. There was Omaha, but that seems to have been taken by United States Bus Service. They are expanding a bit. That sort of only leaves us with Denver if we don't want to go all the way to the West Coast. And ideally we'd be on the East Coast, but I just don't think there's Miami, but that has already been taken. I don't really want to use a level 1 hub or city, because that will just be too little traffic to begin with. Ideally we'd have a 3-star or a 2-star, and we'd want to be as close to the East Coast as possible because that's a shorter journey. But I do think Denver is probably our best bet. There's some border towns that are like level 2 that could be a possibility, but I do think Denver is probably going to be our best bet. Now, we did cross into a new month, so just want to check out Brunswick and Aarhus with regards to their connections, if there's anything missing now. Oh, Aarhus actually has a connection or a demand to go to Mansfield now, which is interesting. That's really gonna help us out with that. And then Brunswick is for Odessa, which will either go via Leipzig or it'll go via Copenhagen and Minsk, and that way around. But that's really nice with Mansfield. Where is that located? That is located up here by Cleveland. Town is obviously taken, so is Cleveland. Columbus is as well. I mean, these one stars aren't taken, but I mean everything that is higher than 1 star is basically already taken up here. London 2, which is a 2-star. And even if it wasn't, they would have so much trust we couldn't do anything. So I think going for Denver is probably the way to go. And then we'll just need to set up a route to Mansfield. that will... Okay, so I'm thinking that will sort of make Mansfield the hub for getting to Denver, which is the hub for getting to... to Europe. So question if it really matters that much. I mean, we will be able to do the Denver Mansfield route and make some money there as well. And I want one. I want a hub in the US. I want to be able to expand and spread over here as well. So I think it just makes sense under every circumstance, really. We'll start by building out Denver, and then we will set up that intercontinental flight afterwards. So we gotta go to Los Alamos, we gotta go to Colorado Springs, we gotta go to Scottsbluff, and we gotta go to Cheyenne. Los Alamos and Colorado Springs here are... Let's start with Colorado Springs. That's pretty close by. We can set up a road vehicle. It's 22 people, it's 100 kilometers. So I'm wondering whether we go with the Gravola or we go with the Dinova. The Dinova won't be full, but the Gravola will be. Question is just if the cadence is gonna make up for that. Let's take a look and just we'll check it out. We'll see. Denver to Cheyenne, 150 kilometers, also sort of smells like a bus to me. I think we're gonna go with the Ortler for that one though, because it is just a slightly smaller demand. Now getting to Los Alamos. We can either, it's 400 kilometers. We could fly, or we could set up buses that probably go through Colorado Springs. So sort of helping with that demand as well. Let's do that. Let's set up a road tech then to go that route. It's gonna pick up everybody that's left here. He's not gonna pick up, oh, because I made the route wrong. And he started traveling. That's annoying. Okay, let's just... I want to edit the route. I wanted to go to Colorado Springs. Confirm that edit. Passenger refund. Okay, interesting. Okay, maybe we don't do that. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. Same goes for Scottsbluff. Although I think I probably want a direct there. It's gonna go through Cheyenne, but the demand isn't really anything. Now I would like it if these were at 100% so that we could upgrade the city. So maybe what we do is we set up some maybe this one is changed to an Ortler. And then we just, let's go for the Denver routes here. We do Colorado Springs, and we just duplicate that. So this one is in Denver right now, and then can alternate. This guy here to Los Alamos, the road tech is overkill. So let's downscale that to the Dinova. And once he gets to Los Alamos, we'll throw in another one. They might not need to be Dinovas. They could probably be Gravolas, which is the 15 capacity one. And then I'm sort of interested, I'll just let it run here. I'm sort of interested why Scottsbluff and Cheyenne isn't feeling like they are completely fulfilled, but we'll have to see about that. We'll have to see about that. Let's update Denver to Mansfield route. Just so we have it. It can be a 340 Express. I know there's nobody there. And then we set up Denver. Now we don't want to use Mansfield as a leg, because then all the passengers will just get off in Mansfield instead of getting off in Denver. So we do want to get the passengers to Denver, so we're gonna use another hub. I wonder if we can make it to Halifax if we want to get the Clipper. I do kind of want to get the Clipper. It's a very good plane. I guess we could go for like the A780, which is the Aramara sort of take on the Clipper, except has a lot longer range and it's more expensive, also in fuel prices. Ideally, I mean, the best we could really do, right, is to go with Aarhus and go for the Stratus, like save up another 35 million and just do a direct flight. But I'm not sure how long that would take. If we look at last month, our balance increased by 41 million, but we sold 26 million worth. So in reality, we only made like, what, 15 million? Let's see if there's any routes here that could do with some management. There's a Brunswick Moscow that is having a bit of a downturn in efficiency. But I mean, they are both running with passengers, so we'll have to, let's speed it up a little bit, the game, so we can see how this one acts when it gets into Moscow. It gets to 16, which is the break-even point, so that's fine. How about the other one here? And this one is not doing too well. It did get to 17, so we are just around the point where maybe just having one would be better. That also makes us back 4 million, which is pretty darn good. This one's full though, so there is some have to keep an eye on that a little bit. Is there anybody else? There's the Leipzig and Minsk. And this guy probably we could get rid of. Help that out a little bit. What else do we have? Copenhagen, Moscow. That's a pretty crazy line just running. What is that? 6 or 7? 7 A300s. That's pretty wild. I mean, this one's running with 8. This one's running 7. This one's gonna run 5. I'm gonna get rid of 2 of these. There we go. I think that matches demand much better. We'll have to see, I guess, but what else do we have? I mean, not a whole lot to go by, but we are just missing how much? We are just missing 19 million now. It's gonna be our first cloud server, so there's no company loyalty, unfortunately. Could do with a 30% discount, that would be too bad. There's also Copenhagen and Ryazan. Let's just hop out of this and see. I mean, Copenhagen, Paris is really being primarily people from Ryazan wanting to go to Paris. Why aren't they just... Let's see here, Paris. I would think they would go to Aarhus, which is a little bit underutilized. There is a direct, but we are not running it. So that's probably why. Let's set up that route. We'll just clear what we have right now. We'll set up a clipper probably just to get through that demand. And it's gonna take our money that we're saving up, but I think we'll just do a non-direct flight then instead. Aarhus, Reykjavik, and can we make it all the way to Halifax there? 3.3 we can, and then Denver. We can't do that if we go for an Aramara plane, and I think we will. Let's go with the AR 500 to begin with, and we can upgrade it if passengers are there. And the Aarhus Mansfield people are boarding. Really, really nice, to be honest. If we look here, we did sort of forget to set up the secondary bus for Los Alamos. We can get one for Scottsbluff. I think it's a little late, but I think it's gonna be okay. Wonder where the Cheyenne one is. It's currently traveling towards Cheyenne, so we'll have to... Let's just speed up the game a bit. When he gets in there, we will get another Ortler. We'll take a look at Denver here. Colorado Springs is doing double Ortler. That makes a lot of sense. So let's just get people down to Los Alamos. We'll just speed up the rest of the month here a bit. There it gets into Los Alamos. Let's get another going. It does fill up quite a lot actually in Denver at that point, so maybe that made sense. We did manage to upgrade, which is really neat. Upgrade Denver. It wants a connection to Enid. We can do that for sure. It's going to be by plane though. So we'll just throw in a little Nimbus and that should make people happy there. Now where is our AR-500 Intercontinental? It is right here. We're just gonna leave that there so we can find it. Currently on the last leg, heading towards Mansfield and Denver, and then the question just becomes if it's gonna, how many people is gonna come. Going the other way, we can look and see in Denver right now there's nobody that has arrived wanting to go the other way, so not sure if we need to take a look at, I mean, maybe we need to make a route to Nashville. They'll go through Enid or they'll go through Mansfield. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what we should do there. Anyway, looking at Scotts Bluff, we might actually need another vehicle. So let's do that. There was a lot of people still waiting. 40% of the way, and while we're waiting on that plane to complete its last leg, let's take a look at Aarhus. It did not upgrade. Mansfield connection wasn't satisfied enough. Indirect traffic is starting to rise a bit in Aarhus again. Gotta keep an eye on that. And Brunswick got Odessa, and its Aarhus connection is starting to not be enough. So let's upgrade these two transporters, I think. That'll help out for sure. And then I wanted to just take a quick look. I didn't mean to close that down. Let's take a quick look at the Minsk line, sort of see. Yeah, we are starting to hit the limits. So let's get rid of this guy here. Such that the Clipper can get a few more passengers, and we might even need to get rid of this one as well. So we're just running a Clipper and two transporters. Maybe the Clipper is enough in itself. I'll have to check up on that. We are just about landing here in Denver, the first intercontinental flight, which is very nice. We did make it. There's nobody else, as far as I can tell. Reaching Denver here and not picking up any passengers just yet, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that will be remedied next time. can see Scott's Bluff here. Could do with another. They're really... I mean, it's interesting because that one is not one of the ones that has a lot of demand compared to like Los Alamos and Colorado Springs. But there is a lot more people sort of getting there. Now we do have 7 people wanting to go to Mansfield with this new plane, and our Mansfield plane is starting to bring in some passengers that are gonna be on our intercontinental next time around. So that is good. How about the Enid? Come on, there we go. The Enid plane is also starting to bring in people, so we're just a little bit of a mismatch in terms of timing there, but that is a-okay. I wonder, probably let's get another 320 on the Enid flight. That's gonna take care of all the people wanting to go to Enid. They can live on, I mean, those small planes, they just need 3 passengers to be profitable, or break even at least, so that's completely fine to do that. This is a Scottsdale that should take care of the demand that is there right now. Then the Mansfield plane will be arriving. We have a little bit of traffic for Los Alamos. Just left though. Maybe this needs to be a Gravola, and this guy needs to... We need a Ortler on the scene as well. How many? Los Alamos 7. Yeah, maybe, no, not this line. I mean, we are 100% fulfilled, so maybe it's not so much a problem. And Scott's Bluff got handled there, same with Cheyenne. So we are actually pretty much, we should be leveling up Denver next time as well, which is really good. There is slight increase. There's still a few people for Scotts Bluff. And the bus is gonna come then. Let's just see. Yeah, we are running 100% now, and now we have people for London, we have people for Porto, we have people for Madrid, Paris, Stuttgart. Lots of people arriving here. So ready to go to Europe. And the plane is just leaving Halifax. Now, if we were to upgrade this to a Stratus, it would cost us 71 million. How much did I pay for the AR 500? I paid 18. So that sort of matches. I'm not losing any money except for the money that we lost already. We can edit the route. We did get the route started, which sort of made the demand come. So I still think it was the right play to go about it like this. Question is if we can make that money before the plane makes it back. We'll have to see. A hub in Oslo, don't mind if I do. Feel like Oslo has been a thorn in my side for a little while, so let's just give a hub manager 2 million and try to figure that out. There's some potential to upgrade Paris and Stavanger. Sure, and now we are obviously spending money that we were saving per se. But don't mind that too much. Let's make it direct from Brunswick to Odessa. Just to sort of fix that. I'm not sure how much demand is gonna be. Probably just want to go with the A70. Hopefully that should take care of that. A little bit increase to Goslar. How many people do we have waiting? 16 people. Goslar, 16 people. Where is the car? It's just transferring people. Let's get another Ortler for sure. Not sure why there's suddenly a increase in demand there, but we'll throw in another Ortler. That is fine with me. It does mean we need to make another 10 million before the plane arrives on its way to Reykjavik right now. Let's see if we can sell some planes, if there's something to be rebalanced. Seems like our top performers are actually pretty good. There's Copenhagen, Minsk, which might need some rebalancing. We are running some A300s, which seem to be a bit overkill. Question is, do we get rid of the A300 or do we get rid of the 340 Expresses? Probably the smaller planes, I feel. Speed-wise, how much faster is the A300? It's a lot faster. Let's do it. Let's get rid of these smaller planes on that route, and then hopefully once that demand sort of catches back up, these will be more profitable. What else do we have? Not a lot, to be honest. They're all running pretty well. Stavanger Paris, we just did something there. Which seems sort of redundant given that this guy's flying empty. Let's get rid of him. That's weird. Why it is suggested doing that. We have a 340 Express here, Aalborg, Amsterdam, which isn't doing too well, so let's downgrade that guy. We're just leaving Reykjavik and we're still 9 million short. Aarhus, Minsk. Clipper, I mean, it is being profitable, just nowhere near the amount that I want it to be. So let's get rid of one of these transporters. Actually, let's get rid of both. We'll just have the Clipper handle all of that demand there. know we have another clipper somewhere, Copenhagen, Paris. How's that doing? That's full, so that's good. We are getting there. Now, Copenhagen Reason. Does have this A300 running without any passengers. This guy, not that worthwhile either, but there was a transporter not doing so well, so let's get rid of that one instead of the A300. And that is enough to upgrade to the Stratus. Let's do that, and then we'll edit the route to... Actually, we'll change... No, it won't change. We'll edit it. We'll just go direct to Denver. Very cool indeed. Now let's see, how many people are we picking up? Quite a bit people from Odense, interestingly enough. And no people from the rest of Europe, which is also very surprising. Now we need 45 to break even on the Stratus, and we have 44. But hopefully one more round trip will do the trick. You know there's people waiting in Denver to go back, so hopefully it will be profitable soon. That is the bet that I am making anyways. Operating profit, we are at 32 million, but we are getting still pretty much left in the dust by the US companies, and now some of the other companies are also getting a bit of ground. But I mean, our company value, we are closing in on being 300 million in value above number 2, which is pretty cool. And we just barely broke profit or minimum efficiency on the Stratus here. While we're at Aarhus, let's just upgrade the St. Petersburg planes to some... I mean, I don't want... we are going from A70s. Let's get... I would like to get 300s. But let's just go with transporters for now. See if that doesn't make a difference. And the Aarhus Antwerp could do with an additional transporter. Now some wanted. There's a wanted traffic to Karlskrona, primarily from Jönköping, and it's going like a weird route via boat. Question is if we want to get Jönköping. It is a Tier 5. So, I mean, we probably do. I'm just gonna go with the hub manager on this one, though. He can get 1 million. He did not care for that at all. Okay, interesting enough. I will just set up the route, and I think 200 kilometers by bus isn't the worst thing, so let's throw down a Gravola. mean, it's a terrible road line there. Can I build a more direct road? There, I could. It was also cheaper, so I'm not quite sure why that was a thing. Anyways, I'll throw down a grimoire here. And see if that doesn't help him out. He has 1 million, so he can figure out the rest, but hopefully that sort of reduces the traffic here for Karlskrona. How's Brunswick doing? Brunswick's doing fine, apart from the fact that Odessa could do with an upgrade. Let's just upgrade the plane instead of getting another one. Might even want to go all the way up to a A300. Let's try it. See, it's full, so let's see how that does for the fulfillment rate. And then there's a lot of traffic wanting to go to Paris, primarily coming from some of the Russian cities. Just running a singular transporter here. Let's upgrade that to a A300 maybe. See how that does. City's grown. Copenhagen is a level 17 now, overtaking Aarhus. Some demand for Hamilton. Aarhus didn't level up because its main field demand isn't completely satiated, which is quite annoying that it feels that way. But I guess we might need a secondary plane sort of to fulfill that. More connections to Aarhus is wanted, and they want a hub in Berlin. It's probably about time we get Berlin, so I'm not completely opposed to doing that either. We don't have the money just yet. About 70% of the way to Denver. I am kind of curious, so I just want to speed it along a bit. How do we do getting into Denver? $68 people isn't the worst. It will start making money, and then hopefully in a round trip or two, it is gonna be profitable. At least that is the hope, of course. Now, Denver wants to go to Tijuana, Mexico in order to evolve further, and it also wants a bit more throughput on the Enid line. Interestingly enough, seeing that there is no people waiting to go to Enid. A lot of people waiting to go to Mansfield though. How this plane isn't making any money is beyond me. Oh, I know what it is. It's because they just arrived, obviously. So that's gonna run for a few times before the plane gets back here, so that makes sense. Tijuana, Mexico, from Denver is 1,300 kilometers. We can do that with all of our planes, except for the 230. So we're gonna have to go with the... I mean, I'd rather not go with the Express because the minimum efficiency is 8. I have to go with the 870, I think, just to match the demand there, but we might need to get a secondary one. Have to see about that. Fulfilling Aarhus demand is easier said than done, but hopefully when the plane gets back here that will do it. Not sure. Now there is still more people coming that wants to go to Karlskrona. It has switched a bit to being from Malmö, although there's no demand from Malmö. It's just sort of a circular people in Jönköping that were going there. Have our bus, which is running low efficiency now. Question is if we just set up a temporary plane to just get rid of these people in Aarhus. Although it's not the end of the world, we are at half capacity, so it's not like we are having any issues. Catching a bit back up with regards to operating profits. We aren't that far behind, but if they escalate during the month, then of course that is not gonna cut it. Still a lot of people in Brunswick wanting to go to Paris. So let's just see if that fills, the A300 here fills up when it gets to Paris, because then I'll just buy another one. It does seem to fill up pretty good, so let's limited inventory, okay. Guess we're getting another plane then. A lot of A300s being used. In that case, I want to go with a transporter probably. And probably even 2. And then we can take a look back at... Let's first take a look at our hubs. Copenhagen is doing a lot of money. All of a sudden. Let's look at our routes. It is, I mean, yeah, these lines are wildly profitable, so that makes sense. Leipzig falling a bit behind. Maybe Copenhagen has sort of taken over some of that pressure there. The hub manager has 9 million to play with, but he can't expand, he can't level up until this Seoul connection gets changed out, so that is unfortunate, of course. Not much we can do there. I don't want to set it up. It's not going to be profitable in any sense of the word, so that's just going to have to be the way it is. And Aarhus is doing pretty well. Of course, there's no hub manager here. That is just us. Fulfillment is pretty good. St. Petersburg does seem like it could pull another plane, so I wonder if we should set up a clipper here as well. Get rid of some of the transporters. This one's not running full anyways. So we are taking care of the demand, like, coming back. So the way we should fix that indirect traffic is really to see if there's some of these cities where we can set up some direct traffic instead. Brunswick, Leipzig and Cologne, and Ålesund. Ålesund isn't one of ours, so that's gonna have to just go through Stavanger, which does have one for St. Petersburg. We could upgrade that one. See if that does anything. And then we have our... There was the Brunswick, Moscow... Sorry, St. Petersburg. It's running with the P535, sorry. Not really at... I mean, that's a little profitable. No, wait, this is Copenhagen. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to see. Brunswick, St. Petersburg. Oh, it's going through Copenhagen. Which means it's the Copenhagen, St. Petersburg that we need to increase. But that is not running full. So I guess the only way to sort of alleviate that is to set up a direct. Brunswick, St. Petersburg, we can do with a transporter. That's probably not gonna fill up right now because we just sent people off to Copenhagen. But eventually. People do want to go to Paris though. Still. Steering mode, there's no more inventory of A300s. Did we... We have a lot of lines. The Stratus is breaking even. We're pulling back. I mean, it's doing 2 million now. How about when we arrive? Overall, it's in the negative, but it did bring us back 68 passengers. Then how many people are we gonna be bringing back towards the US? Hopefully more than 45. Yeah, it's 46. Okay. Not a lot of demand for going to the US, it doesn't seem. I would have thought there would be some. But maybe just not yet. It's very regional. Wait, there's a difference in max levels on the cities? I had not noticed that. I guess it's gonna be pretty difficult to get Aarhus up there then, if it can only go to level 20 while cities like Copenhagen and London can go to 30. That's actually quite disappointing. I wonder if it's just when they started, yeah, and the level 1s can go to, so they can go to 10 times their starting, and Aarhus was a level 2 to start with. That's disappointing. I might. I mean, we'll see once we get a little bit closer to that being the case, but I might might mod it, to be honest. I might find a mod or make a mod or something like that that will just upgrading Aarhus to so it can become level 30, so we have a fighting chance of our initial sort of goal. It is a bit of a hub. It is. There's no denying that. But Copenhagen is doing so much better. It also has a lot more vehicles in it, which obviously helps. And now we're about 2/3 through this episode. Wait, let me just see here. Did Mansfield, it did update slightly. We are at like 99% fulfilled. So I wonder if that's enough. Yeah, I wonder if that's enough. Also, Leipzig should have a direct to St. Petersburg that could probably do with some sort of upgrade, it seems. Although, it isn't running full. So I'm not sure what people are doing in Aarhus in order to get from Leipzig to St. Petersburg. I guess they were just a little slow or something in updating. But we only have like 400 indirect travelers, so that's pretty good. What kind of infrastructure can we play with? We have hotels for indirect capacity and city trusts, not necessary. We could throw in a marketing agency. Sorry about that yawn. Sorry about that. We could throw in a marketing agency to increase traffic. That would obviously increase, and this is also, you can level it up, so that would make Aarhus gain more people, and that would make us gain more money. There's the support center for country trust, which isn't really necessary. We have all the cities in Denmark, and there's no way we lose trust in those. And then there's the wholesale vehicle broker, searches for additional vehicles, which in turn further increases vehicle inventory. So basically we would have more inventory, which would be nice. We do run out sometimes. I think getting a marketing agency would be interesting to see. At least see how that changes. We are doing like 21 million this month. Odense is full. I mean, I was just gonna leave everything to their respective managers, but if they can't handle that, then maybe we need to fix that ourselves. Let's do that then. Let's look at Odense, so we can add. For now, we'll leave it without a fuel depot, or do we wanna? Sure, let's just throw in a fuel depot. It's gonna be fine. Also, just want to check out. We don't have a hub in Roskilde. I actually thought we did. Anyways, we have so much trust. It's not gonna fall into the wrong hands. Odense. A direct to Minsk. Interestingly enough, people from Aarhus are going to Odense to go to Minsk, but we don't have, I mean, we have so much. The Clipper's not flying full at all, so I don't understand why that is the case, why they'd rather want to go to Odense. But I guess they do. Question is, I mean, do we just sell everything and get a Clipper here as well? How much is it? 24 million. So we sell everything, that puts us at 21. It's close, it doesn't quite get us there. Okay, what about if we upgrade everything to transporters? It's gonna cost us 7 million. See if that doesn't help. And then we have a lot of passengers for Odessa. There's some indirect from Copenhagen that we can do something about, and the same Leipzig. We don't have a route, somebody else has. We can't have that, really. Do we even have a direct to Odessa? In Copenhagen, we do. It's not running full, though. So we are pretty much stuck with getting direct from Odense. Not sure why they're gathering here. It's not like it's... I guess it is a bit of a hub. Aarhus is just slightly further away, and we have a lot of routes that go into Odense. So yeah, we'll set up direct to Odessa. Sure. And we'll go with the... I would like to go with the A300. I don't like the Velocis P535. It's like twice as expensive and doesn't really make up for it in any meaningful way, I don't feel. So how about we just set some A180s there. We'll put in 3 A180s. Now that I'm thinking about that, maybe they should be transporters. Isn't that more financially viable? It is. Yes, let's just change to those two transporters. Aarhus demand to Mansfield isn't being fulfilled at all. Interesting. Interesting. Just about arriving in Denver. How is that looking? 40 people arrives, 46 people want to go back. I mean, we are making money, just nowhere near the amounts that I was expecting. But hopefully that changes. Annoyingly enough, Denver didn't grow. Brunswick did, so we have to take a look there. Wants us to connect everything in Austria. That's probably not gonna happen, but then again, we would get some investment subsidies. Which could prove quite lucrative. What's going on here? Some indirect travel problems with Enid. Could do with another plane there. Mansfield. How's the plane doing? It's not really making a profit. Slight less than profit last year, so we'll have to wait until that sort of grows. Now Los Alamos is not being quite fulfilled. We have a guy here, just about to get in. We have a guy here, just about to get in. They should be spaced out more. I feel like I did. I feel like I spaced them out completely, so I'm not sure why they sort of gathered like that. I mean, hopefully it'll sort of self-correct once they get in. Yeah, it will, okay. So maybe we just hit a bad sort of month. Probably want another plane on Enid. Just because of the indirect traffic. Okay, that's pretty much all there's to do in Denver right now. Is there any... Leipzig is no longer depending on Seoul, which is very nice. Is there any international travel wanted from, like, Nashville? No. Houston has both Madrid and Porto. They're flying A780s. Okay, interesting. Instead of Clippers, I assume. Interesting. But yeah, so a little bit more demand from Madrid, it seems. There's gonna come some from Enid, it seems, Coimbra. There's a lot of indirect... like, we aren't really handling the demand going to Europe with these planes here flying Enid, so I wonder if let's go with I was gonna say let's go with a Clipper, but we don't have that kind of money, so let's go with an A300 instead. And that's just gonna be not really full at all in Enid. But going back, it's gonna bring a lot of passengers. So the question is, how does that sort of, I just want to see, how does that add together, per se? It doesn't really. That actually loses money. What if we get rid of these other ones? Either way, we're gonna have a lot of people in Denver waiting for the plane here, and it's nearly full going into the US, and it's gonna be nearly full, if not full going out as well. It's now making 20 million. This is what we were wanting. This is what we were looking for. Absolutely fantastic. Question is then, is the demand being met here? Or should we try and throw on another? We don't have the money for another plane, unfortunately. So demand in Aarhus isn't being met. Annoyingly. Oh well. Oh, who's really pulling? Well, that Denver route is really pulling a lot of the profits that Aarhus is pulling. The rest seems to, then if that's doing 20 million, if we look at the balance sheet here, that's doing, I guess it hasn't updated yet. It just says 4 million. But if this pulls 20, then the rest doesn't pull as much. But I guess if it hasn't updated in here, then it won't have. Yeah, okay, so that's gonna change drastically as well once that updates. Interestingly enough, we aren't growing the amount of passengers that much. So question is, There's a lot of people wanting to go to Hamilton, Niagara Falls. We could probably fill up a good part of the plane. This one's only 30% here. But I mean, we don't have the means. It's 90 million to get another one for some reason. Not sure. Oh yeah, that fits. That fits. It's the only plane that could possibly do the trip, so nothing we can do there. That's just gonna be how it is. See, Odense still has a few issues, but it is starting to work itself out a bit. With these transporters, but if we were to upgrade these all to A300s like we wanted to, hopefully that sort of takes a bit off the demand. And do we have any A300s left? We have one more. So let's just get that on the Odessa Odense flight, and hopefully that takes care of those. Upgrade this Madrid to a transporter, probably. Wouldn't hurt. And then we have an Aarhus flight actually that it wants to do. Going to Cologne to a transporter. We probably should have done that before it left the station, but that's just how it is. Cologne Brighton. Sure, we'll upgrade it if you say so. Can help out Stavanger as well. Up, up and away, sell 100 tier 1 airplanes. The balloon, the balloon unlocked. That actually could get us to the US. It has a range of 8,000. That's hilarious. I mean, estimated profits is abysmal, but we could do it just for fun. It is a possibility. That's hilarious. Leipzig, Aarhus. Sure, we'll upgrade that for you as well. 20 million we got from hubs that time around, which is what we want. We want our hubs to start paying. I mean, it's not technically dividends, but that helps Odense a bit. Now I can see Salzburg is having some issues too. Oh, I didn't mean to give him money. It's having issues too, primarily with connecting to Italy. We probably just want to get a direct to... We have a direct to Florence, don't we? We do. Maybe just get a direct to Rome. And that will help. Take a bunch of people, just leave them in Rome instead. Don't have any more A300s, so let's get a transporter. Clipper is probably overkill, to be honest. Paris has a direct. It's Leipzig people wanting to go there. Let's upgrade this then to a transporter. See if that doesn't help out a bit. It wants us to connect the nation. There's quite a few cities, actually, in Austria. And building in the mountains is pretty expensive. really don't have the best sort of want or need to connect. Innsbruck is also, yeah. There is some wanting to go to Salzburg, so we could get those. Could set up a route that goes to Innsbruck here. Just a road vehicle, just a Gravola maybe. 500,000, 300k. It's pretty expensive, but I guess we are getting some of it back in terms of a grant, and much more importantly, if we can get this investment subsidies and spend, like, if we can get another Stratus in the next month, that's gonna save us like 9 million, so that could definitely be something. Now, how would a route look that makes sense over here? We would probably have to... But how do you connect this to anything? Guess we can do like this. And throw in an Ortler. Spend a lot of money on roads. Do the same with here. Throw in an Ortler, spend another money on roads. Well, that's actually the same. What if we just edit the route and then add on this guy then? That connects stuff. We can do the same from Salzburg to stay to Linz with an Ortler and a road. Then it's just that last city which wants to go to Vienna, so maybe we just get Vienna and we set up a connection there with an Ortler. And we also set up the Vienna Linz with a Gravola, I think. Just because there's so many people in Vienna that wants to go to Linz. But I'll throw in a hub manager here and give him 2 million in Vienna, and he can sort of take care of that. That does connect all of Switzerland, or sorry, Austria, my bad. All of Austria, and we should get that investment subsidy next month. Now looking at our hubs again, everything seems to be running pretty decently. How is Denver looking? Denver now has a want to go to Hamilton, which we can oblige directly because there is quite a few people in that are taking our flight here that wants to go to Hamilton. So we'll definitely want to do that. We could do it direct. How many do we have right now? Wanted to go to Hamilton, just 7, so throwing down AR 500 is a bit overkill. Probably, maybe not. Let's give it a go. Let's just give it a go and see how it fares. This AR 300 is making a profit now, which is good, flying to Enid. Although the cadence is sort of We want at least 2 planes, it sort of seems, to sort of completely satisfy. Tijuana. Who's these? Indian voyages out of Los Angeles or what? Yeah, it does seem like it. Where are they? They're here. Yeah, so they're pretty much just Los Angeles. Interesting. No, I wanted to get from Denver to Tijuana. I wanted to look at the plane that's currently flying, and we probably want another one. It seems like, yep. That did help there. Not sure this is gonna be enough to upgrade. Which is unfortunate. We would run a run. Like two planes at opposite ends of the distance. But I mean, even running one is gonna be a negative. Let's see when we get to Hamilton if that brings us any passengers. It does bring a few. Maybe eventually could be profitable and we can throw in a different one, but I mean it needs 20 people to be efficient. So right now it's just losing us some money. Here is our Stratus coming in. How does Aarhus look? 27 million. Good. Did Brunswick? It did get some extra. There is a direct to Cologne already, but it does seem like... Oh, that's by bus. Interesting. And they're starting the loan, so I can't even... But this one is just about to get into Brunswick. See, that takes care of the demand. No, almost. I mean, yeah, it does. It does. Okay. There's a bunch of indirect following along, though. Dessa still in Brunswick wanting to be upgraded. Just has the singular A300. So let's get that down to Odessa, and then we'll just... Damn it, there's no more. That is just annoying. Keep running out. I mean, maybe we just throw down cheeky little wholesale vehicle broker. How's Brunswick doing with regards to money? Pretty decently, so maybe we'll throw in a fuel depot as well. This should allow us to get another one. No. Maybe not until next month, I guess. That's annoying. Guess I will throw a AR 500 on it. guess we could have thrown a clipper at it then. Oh well. Oh well. Copenhagen is level 19. They want to go to Erie. Where's Erie? Oh, there it is. So starting to be some demand. So I definitely think we can upgrade. We can throw in another plane once we have the money. I'm sort of hoping we get a big payout. It seems like we will. We'll get at least 10 million. Aalborg as well, so 15 million. It's not quite enough, is it? This guy's filling up quite nicely though, so maybe we'll throw in a transporter before the month ends. Just to get people out of Enid, and we have a little bit for Cheyenne. A lot of people waiting to go to Cheyenne actually. Is this a car for Cheyenne? It is. Let's make that a road tech. See if that doesn't take care of that. It does. It's good. That means Denver's upgraded. Now there's some demand for Buffalo. New event. Ramadan is celebrated by Canada, apparently. Interesting. Well, that's fine by me. Buffalo via Hamilton. Which makes a lot of sense. It's very close. Does mean we should upgrade our... Oh, it's not running that full. Maybe it makes sense to do the Buffalo route then, if we can do smaller planes. If it's... No, that's also too far. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Lot of tiny planes that need optimization, it seems. That's gonna be fine. Tijuana, Mexico. Let's get another plane onto that route. And also let's upgrade the existing ones to transporters. Maybe just doing that is enough, actually. That way this guy will pick up a bit more people. Okay. I think that is pretty much all that we're gonna have time for today. We did manage to get into the US. Denver's already a level 7 city, which is pretty nice. Looking here, it is making us 1 million, which I guess isn't the worst. But the real kicker in the episode is, of course, the route itself. That makes about 20 million. And when we get another Stratus plane in here, hopefully within this month, because we do have some subsidies, right? So we can get another one for 84 million. Hopefully we can do that within this month. But yeah, that is all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, like I said earlier, if you enjoyed this series, please leave a like and a comment. If you have any critiques or any wishes or anything, leave a comment as well, and I will try to incorporate and fulfill them as much as I possibly can. Of course, subscribing to the channel really helps me out, sends a very good signal. So if you want to follow along, then hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish we could have just one last turn, but it's gonna have to wait till next time. See ya.